Hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to be looking at the energy for the upcoming week. So let's get into it. I hope you're well today. I hope things are going well for you this Leo season. We have a lot in retrograde right now, so things are kind of coming up to be rehashed, etc. These are, I should start off with my little spiels. These are always timeless readings. Keep that in mind. If you find them down the road and they resonate with you, then definitely take what messages fit. Spirit speaks to us in all different kinds of ways. I do personal readings too. So if you want me to look at your specific situation, I do tarot, astrology, mediumship, and Ayurvedic wellness healings as well. So hit me up. All the description or all the info's in the description box below if you're interested. So present time when I'm recording, this is for the week of August 18th through the 24th. We have a full moon in Aquarius tomorrow, August 19th. So exciting. Aquarian energy is a lot about innovation. It is that quintessential idea of the utopia. So what our ideal life would look like and making choices that are in alignment with getting there. Right now, I'm hearing this is a lot about problem solving. It's not that we are hearing no to things that we want, but we have to be a little bit more inventive with our approach. There are also things that we're working to let go of, lingering energies from the past that do need to get removed. Pluto has just also moved into Aquarius. It's in retrograde right now. But it gives us the opportunity to make those changes so we can really tap into this happiness, this abundance, this wish fulfillment. We will start off with an energy cleansing, set the tone, set the vibe, remove any blocked, unwanted energy, negativity, low vibrational, however you want to say it. I'll do a little blessing for you as well. I think that's important. Just give a little love, little support this morning. And it's also a really good time to set your own intention for the reading, especially if you have specific questions or messages you would like Spirit to deliver you around a certain situation. Definitely be open to receive. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release everything that is not for our highest and best. Fear, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience. Help to remove those things that do not serve us or are blocking us from seeing the lessons, the growth, the evolution. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Okay, let's get into it. So a lot is happening this week, and we can see this in the astrology. We are going to be moving into Virgo season at the end of the week. We have that full moon in Aquarius, like I talked about. And we have a lot in retrograde right now. We're at the end of the summer, depending on obviously where you're located in the world. I should say seasonal change maybe is a little bit better. And there is this element of like celebration, soaking up those last moments, enjoying life is what I'm hearing with that joy card, especially because we do have some things that are manifesting that have been a little messy, a little triggering, a little off-putting, and we're trying to figure out how to deal with those things. We do have a good foundation. You have a strong foundation. I feel like there's been a lot of confidence. You've been working really hard to build support within yourself, within your surroundings, in your life. Yes, we've been seeing this a lot lately, where we're dealing with that grief, that sorrow that's from the past. I feel like you will be navigating some of those issues at the beginning of the week. Trying to find ways to work together is what I'm hearing. But there's also this, there's also something that I'm seeing, and we'll talk a little bit more about this as we look at the middle of the week, but there is something that I'm seeing like you're tapping into some type of message, insight, guidance. I feel like you're seeing something that Spirit was really giving you clarity around, information around. Maybe the situation is too messy. Maybe things are beyond repair, but I feel like there is some closure coming through is what I'm hearing around this situation, that it did feel really difficult. It felt really difficult to get through. Maybe there was a lack of communication, a lack of understanding between you and someone else or a situation. And instead of addressing those things, they got put on the back burner. Mercury is also in retrograde right now, and this is the throat chakra, which is being blocked. Mercury is also square to Uranus at the beginning of the week, and what I'm hearing is it's like we feel resistance around people, situations that don't understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, certain choices, etc. And it's feeling a little annoying. It's making us second guess ourselves. It's making us stay stuck in these cycles of grief, of sadness, of pain, etc. Yeah, when this is all about your empowerment. This is all about you doing the work in order to be that really powerful version of yourself. I love this card. It's so beautiful. It is connected to our Dharma, our life path, and a lot of that is being put into focus right now because of Pluto moving into Aquarius. Pluto takes about, 12, 15 years or so, depending on how it retrogrades, to move through a sign. So it's governing generational energy, those decade-long things that, if we're not aware of, we're going to bring them into the next 15 years. I think it doesn't go into Pisces until 2043 or something like that. So it's this reminder that the reason all this stuff is popping up, the reason that we're having to look some of these challenges in the face is the opportunity to kind of see those deeper messages, those deeper layers of things that we do need to shift and change. And I feel for you, midweek energy, it's showing that you were seeing those things clearly. You were understanding those things clearly. Maybe you didn't trust yourself. You didn't trust your gut. You didn't have the strength. You didn't have the courage. Always a waiting game is what I'm hearing. And it's not that it didn't matter to you. It's not that it didn't matter to someone else. But, sometimes we get very uncomfortable in not talking, not having conversations. Sometimes those conversations can be very scary because they make us vulnerable. But there is this element where you need to... There's a lot of release that's happening this week is what I'm seeing. Beginning of the week energy, 8 of Cups with the Sorrow card. It's asking us to just walk away from the toxicity, walk away from the hurt, from the pain. I'm not saying it in this way to be naive, right? Or everything is rose-colored glasses, pie in the sky. I feel this is directly related to something that is part of your support system, part of your foundation, your stability. It hasn't given you what you needed. And maybe even when you did try to communicate, it just would fall on deaf ears. You weren't feeling heard. You weren't feeling understood. And I do feel like this decision is being made, has been made to release, to let go and move forward. And there's a lot that's coming up around this in the beginning of the week. People, situations that it's hard to walk away from. And you feel like you're in this waiting game, so you've had to kind of patiently move through this grief. Maybe you feel like you're grieving on your own. Maybe you feel like people don't understand. 5 of Swords energy, though, is like people not wanting to understand at the same time. Yeah. I mean, it's being in these moments of sadness has really, it's spirit showing you what the truth is. The Hangman, it's the different perspective. It's forcing you to slow down so that you're not feeling confused or you're not making decisions that really aren't honestly what you want. And that's where this sorrow is coming into play, because you weren't able to see someone or something clearly. And part of you just, because it looked good on the outside, the superficiality, part of you just wanted to push forward and make it happen. I can make this work, is what I'm hearing. And we see that now that changes are trying to be made. Mercury square to Uranus. Those people that don't want to get on board, don't want to get on board. And it's humbling. It's maybe a little jarring at times, because now you have to look at it through a different lens that is also painful. There's pain before, there's pain after. But again, this is heavily tied to this toxicity, to this 8 of Cups. It's walking away. I love how it's represented in this deck too, as elixirs, right? They showcase it as like potions, like all the magical woohoo. But you know, it's these things that kind of like cloud our judgment, right? Despair. It's kind of funny, yeah, despair. And so much of it is about cleansing, right? Aura cleanse, let go potion, wake up potion. So Spirit's asking you to be aware, even if it is painful, even if it does suck. And that is just part of the stressors that we are facing right now. But there's so much positivity and goodness that will come out of it. It's just not things happening right in this moment this week. And I don't really feel like there is going to be a lot of that throughout this week. We get a little bit of reprieve midweek. And this is, I feel like you've done the hard work, you get validation, you get confirmation. It's a little bit of a gift from Spirit. He's saying, genderless, whatever you resonate with, excuse me. Ooh, I lost it. Yeah, it's like a congratulations, a well done. That you're given this validation for what you've been sensing and feeling for quite some time. It is making things emotional. It doesn't mean like the hurt and the pain magically leave you midweek, because it still is lingering. And if anything, I feel like you're spending a lot of time in those like upper chakras, in those parts of you that like the Neptune in Pisces, where we're really kind of like sensing into those subtler layers, those connections, those energetic connections we have with other people. What I like is Venus is in Virgo, and it's bringing an element of softness to our grace and compassion that we give to ourselves, and also that we give to others. It's just this recognition. I don't know why I'm meshing 2 words together. It's just this recognition that we have to plan and approach things in a different way. And that's part of what our intuition is telling us. It might have been this one thing, but now it's something else, or now it needs to be, now that it's understood that it's something else, it needs to be approached in a very different way. And it is going to be a little bit of a combative energy. I feel like we saw this recently. I think that was one of the collective readings I did a couple days ago, where there is a little bit of a fight brewing. There is a battle of the intellects is what I'm seeing, especially with this Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords energy. What comes out of it? Let's see. Well, I'm hearing communication will be unleashed, especially if it hasn't been, especially if there hasn't been a lot of communication in this dynamic. Mercury is in Leo, and so there's going to be a lot of pride, a lot of ego embedded in this conversation, not really getting to the bottom of things, not really getting to the truth of things. And that's where this temperance comes into play. Someone or something doesn't really want to divulge, doesn't want to be honest, is still safeguarding themselves is what I'm hearing. And you can see right through this. This might be a person or individual you've known for a long time, or you just have like a really good read on them. You can see through this. And it's going to be frustrating because you might even try to work with them. You might even try to like call them out on the inconsistencies. But they're not open to that at all. Yeah, let's wait it out. Let's see how things go. There's a lot of waiting energy, and that also shows up with that Mars and Jupiter square to Saturn, because it's like, no, I don't want to wait. I want to keep things moving. So someone is afraid. Someone's afraid of something moving too fast. Someone is not prepared. Someone is not ready. And you coming in as the Knight of Swords, like you have a plan of action already in place. You know where you're headed. You know where you're going. And if someone does not want to get on board, I feel like you're kind of like cool with that, you know? I don't feel like you're saying a lot because, again, there's something about this throat chakra that feels like a lack of communication. It's not that you're not open to it, but I feel like whether it's one person or both parties are saying the bare minimum. You know, I don't want to divulge too much. But if you are in a dynamic with someone who's willing to be open and honest, there can be a lot of blessings and a lot of abundance that comes through with that. But again, everyone involved needs to be willing, needs to be open, needs to be able to make those changes or kind of see through the BS, right? Shit happens, it's life, whatever. It helps us grow, it helps us evolve, but at the end of the day, if we're not willing to do anything about it, about bad patterns, habits, cycles, etc., then it gets dicey, you know? Then it's really hard to sustain, right? Then we end up winding up in these Eight of Cups dynamics, relationships where people are toxic, where they use control or manipulation or substance or whatever, however that resonates. And that is the push and pull that's really unfolding right now with Pluto moving into Aquarius, with it being in retrograde. Tension is heightened at the end of the week. But we also have more support than what we were seeing midweek, which I really love. And okay, so tension, right? So we're seeing things clearly, third eye chakra. We're seeing those intuitive messages very spot on, very on point. This is very imperative for you to trust yourself, trust what you see, sense, and feel, will have that support because the moon is in Aries. So Aries really gives us this element of like determination, courage, and like, I'm right. So when we are feeling something, when we are sensing something, it's going to be very easy for us to feel confident in that. And end of the week, Sun is in Virgo. So we're getting more earth energy, more balance, more stability. Earth, air, and fire, earth, wind, fire, whoop, whoop. They are all kind of balancing each other out this week. So it is a little bit of survival of the fittest is what I'm hearing. What energy are you going to let win? Making sure that you're very cognizant about how you're showing up, how you're coming across. There still is this message of taking it slow, right? Especially with this third eye, page of coins energy. You're building something, and I'm seeing something's coming in. I feel like this is financial stability, or it just makes you feel really abundant. You're like, it's the start of something good. This is something that you have been seeing come in, and I feel like it is part of that reward. New friendship, new relationship is peeking out. Maybe you find a new community. End of the week, maybe you start a new hobby, workshop, program, etc. But I see you connecting with more people, and in a way that it's like, it feels good. It feels better than what you expected. But I also feel like it can be attached to some wisdom, to some knowledge that you are gaining. So that's part of the tension that I'm seeing. Like, in the challenges that we're facing, we have a pretty good idea of how they're playing out, what is what. Whether we're acknowledging it to ourselves right now or not, we do have a good idea. And I feel like as these new dynamics come in for you, or you're getting support from friends, community throughout the week, it's giving a lot of clarity and insight into some of these intuitive messages, where I feel like as much as there is pain towards the end of the week, the pain, the sorrow that was in the beginning, it's starting to balance out. It's starting to even out because you're able to see that it is just a part of the journey, right? It's a part of your growth. It's a part of your evolution. Maybe you're able to be a little bit nicer to yourself about this process. Maybe you invite people who are willing to really help nurture and support you through that sadness. We've been seeing the Three of Swords come up. I do feel like you're trying to hide it in some ways, especially when you make these new connections. Not good, bad, right, or wrong. I mean, you're not going to like meet someone and tell them all your business or whatever. But this is that value of like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It is ending with the Tower, which normally I don't like, but I feel like it's a positive destruction. It's destruction that has needed to happen. It's giving way is what I'm hearing. Breaking the ice, something that has been frozen in place, unable to be dealt with, to be addressed. It's coming to head. And I feel like, again, the more you kind of just patiently plug away, Spirit's really honoring that. You're receiving the insight that you need. It does come with some messiness, but you're prepared. You are prepared. And I think through this, you are seeing, I love this, you're seeing the change. The bittersweet is bringing about the change. It's bringing about change. It's bringing about new beginnings that are more heart honoring, that are more in alignment with what you desire, right? With your dharma, what you're bringing to this world. And it doesn't have to be this like overly spiritual life path. It's whatever makes you feel like, yeah, this is my contribution This is what I'm bringing to the world. This is what makes me strive to be the best version of myself. This is what helps me unfold into that. There's that new partnership. It is commitment to the path. I feel like this is commitment in two ways. Commitment to this Dharma, but it's also commitment to yourself, to your life, the way that you're honoring your life, being the master of your own world, understanding that we are. That when we fall into victim mentality or we project, we blame, etc., that is actually disempowering ourselves. At the end of the day, we have choices, and that's what I feel like this time is all about. At the end of the day, we have choices. Choices about what we are going to engage in. Maybe something serves a purpose for a period of time, but we also have to recognize that when it is going to fall flat, when it is not really something that is going to sustain us long term, and be able to make adjustments accordingly. Interesting week. It's not the lightest week. It's not the heaviest week. You know, there is stuff I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's culminating, things that are coming to head. I feel like you're going to be seeing situations work out. You're getting more clarity. There's more closure coming around things that either you've been dealing with for a long time or just you felt a lot of block around. Mercury does go to, it's not this week, but Mercury, we're in like the last week and a half-ish of Mercury retrograde. So we're going to start seeing some of this lessening of the tension next week. It's just like I said, being patient in the process, committed to yourself, committed to the strength that you have built, and you know, not letting people, places, and things throw you off. All right, thank you so much for your time and energy always. I really hope that you found messages that you resonated with here. Thank you always. I appreciate you for stopping by. Definitely drop comments below if it fit or resonated. Sorry, this is coming out weird for some reason. But yeah, I love the comments. I love connecting. I love hearing if it resonates. I appreciate you always. I'm sending all the love and blessings your way.